If you want the honest truth about River Modern, keep watching this video. If you want sales talk, skip this video. Welcome back to another episode of Haikal Titus Honest Truth, HTHT.
So if you have enjoyed our content so far, remember to like, share and subscribe. It really will help us continue produce more honest content for you guys. And also do not forget to scan our QR code if you guys have any property related questions. So as of the recording, we are doing this on the 26th of the Feb.
恭喜發財.
Yeah, that's why I'm wearing the CNY clothing. Right, we have already passed the first weekend of River Modern, Titus.
A lot of people.
Yes, apparently you are right. There was about 7,000 people visited over the 3 days.
That's a lot compared to the first launch in 2026, which is Nara. This number is like almost double.
Correct. So we can clearly see the hype of this project.
But definitely the traffic to the show flat does not mean that the project will be well taken, which is actually what we are doing in this video to share with you our thoughts about how we view River Modern because of the location and of course similar project like River Green, Zion Grand, Promenade Peak. They have all done very well in the past year.
Yeah, and on top of that, I think because for River Modern, we now have Guaco Land, which is a very well-renowned developer coming into the River Valley scene.
I heard that this is Guaco Land last piece in their inventory. They don't have any more land after this.
So most likely they will be buying more land to
so
stock up.
We don't know whether they will treasure this last piece like very valuable, then go a little bit more aggressive, or they have already pipelines of potential land that they are going to buy after this.
So it'll be interesting to see how they do their pricing strategy on launch day.
Also, we want to remind our viewers out there, projects that do very well on launch, right? This does not necessarily translate to big money in the resale market. For example, you look at these two examples. One is King Albert Park Residence at Bukit Timah and then Echelon at Redhill. Both were crazy on launch, but then the resale performance is so-so.
Yeah, very bad. Right, so for today's video, right, I think we want to look and analyze River Modern in terms of pricing, layout, and most importantly, the supply.
Yeah, the elephant in the room. We have to talk about it, right?
Correct. So I think most buyers who are considering River Modern will have this question at the back of their mind. Is there an oversupply here in River Valley?
Yes.
So continue watching and we will address this issue for you guys.
But of course, if you're interested in other OCR projects, maybe in the east like Pinery in Tampines, Revere in Tampines, and even Vela Bay in Bayshore, or anything about the upcoming launches, maybe like Chuan, Thomson View, you want to get first-hand information, same thing, advertisement time, QR code, scan, and we can actually have a consultation. We will apply our 4-step framework to help you see whether the project you want to consider is worth your time and effort or not.
So now we go back to River Modern. So first off, these are the project details.
Pause.
Yeah. Pause the video. We will not talk so much. Right? Take a screenshot. If you guys want the e-brochure, just let us know. Then we will send it over to you guys. Right? So just a brief introduction of the project. There will be 6 retail shops below.
Yes.
But of course, we do not know what type of shops will pop up.
Yep.
Right? So what do you think could possibly be the makeup of the shop status?
It really depends on how the developer wants to handle this, right? If they are selling the shops, right, then it could be kucing kurat lah. It could be like massage parlor, mama shop, handphone shop. But of course, if the developer were to do a single tier MCST, that means the MCST manage the shop and then the renter goes into the same MCST funds. Then there has a little bit more control over the tenant profile.
Correct. On top of that, then we'll talk about the parking as well. So parking is not 1-to-1. It's about 80% because it's super near the MRT.
Yeah, Great World MRT.
Yeah, so for those buyers who love MRT so much, MRT junkies, this is the project for you guys to consider. Yeah.
Moving on to unit mix, quite a good distribution between 2 and 3 and then 4 beders. So for this project, there isn't any 1 bedder, which I feel that is actually not bad. Because 1 bedder, essentially, it's really for couple or single or even investors. Right?
Just family, to rent out.
Yeah, family wouldn't consider this area for 1 bedder.
Next, we have the site plan. So if you look on the left side, it is sort of integrated with one of the exits of Great World City MRT.
Yes.
Then you have your 2 towers with the pool in between. Then this being a Guaco Land project, they have reintroduced their Grand Lawn area here.
Yeah, and definitely for pet lovers, right? This area, River Valley, a lot of people have pets, have their dogs. So this Grand Lawn area, right, will be very suitable. But of course, the shit you have to pick up.
Yes. responsible. But honestly, when we saw the show flat, we do feel like the Grand Lawn is a bit underwhelming.
Yeah, it feels like a patch of grass lah. Like it got space to do something, but never really fully utilized.
Correct. So if you compare to maybe like Lentor mentioned, where I think the Grand Lawn feels better,
Yep.
down here we feel like the space is maybe a bit more underutilized lah.
Yeah, but maybe in future when residents take over MCST, right, you can actually do your own suggestion lah.
Correct. So we also want to compare the feeling of River Modern with our neighbours.
Yes.
Right. For example, at Promenade Peak, what do they have, Titus?
They 63 stories and then they have this calisthenic high rocks outdoor kind of area. But of course the main selling point of Promenade Peak and even Zion Grand is the height, 63 stories.
Correct.
Right, then Zion Grand is the orchid looking design.
Yes.
Once you come into the town area from CTE, right, you cannot miss Zion Grand one.
Yes,
It's
correct.
like, it's in your face one. Yeah.
So we can safely say that for Zion Grand, in terms of the feel good factor and the home factor, I think is the best.
Yep.
Want to explain more why we feel like it?
I think Zion Grand because you have the majestic height, 63 story. And then even though the architecture, they try to do the orchid wavy design.
Correct.
But all the layout in Zion Grand is very, very traditional, very squarish. There isn't really weird layouts lah, like long corridors or probably like very, very weird shaped kind of layout, which right now, I think what is in trend is just proper squarish rectangle layout.
So what we wanted to say is for River Modern, the facilities and the building feels normal, right? Nothing to shout, nothing special about it. But of course, there's nothing wrong with a safe condo.
Yep. And one of the thing about River Modern is 60 to 70% of the unit face the river lah. So
correct.
if you believe like feng shui you need water then of course you have the water in front of you lah. So back to the main question that a lot of viewers want to ask. The elephant in the room. River Valley, so many existing condo. Then you have River Green, you have Promenade Peak, you have Zion Grand, now you have River Modern, and there's still one more upcoming.
Yes.
Right? Is there going to be an oversupply in this area?
Right. So since our channel is called Haikal Titus Honest Truth, right? I will give them our honest opinion.
No, there is no oversupply.
Yeah. But honestly, our opinion is yes.
Yep.
There is oversupply because if we were to look at the numbers,
Yes.
most of these units are going to TOP in 2029 or 2030. So if you look at the numbers, Promenade Peak has about 596 units, Zion Grand about 700 units, River Green another 500 plus,
Yes.
now River Modern another 455.
More than 2,000.
Yes. So in that 2 year span within 2029 and 2030, you have about 2.2k units TOP. So is that a lot, Titus?
You say 2.2k, we just assume that 10% of them want to exit, right? That is almost like 300 units
Yes.
fighting for your buyers at the same time period. So to me, that is quite a significant number. And we haven't added in the slightly older ones like Avenir, Revere, OL Hill,
Correct.
and even the nearby Sentinel Suites, all these. You know, we haven't added in all these things. So definitely there will be an oversupply. But when we meet an issue of oversupply, right, then we have to be very clear. We have to have a trump card,
Yes.
which is we have to have the balak lah, right? Whereby you really have to have something that is very rare,
Correct.
that your neighbors don't have, right? So maybe for River Modern, it's the river facing,
Yep.
right? For Zion Grand, it will be the 50-year floor, the 60-year floor, whereby nobody has.
Yes.
Yep.
So basically, now we look at your plans. So our advice to our clients usually for this oversupply, how do we handle it? It depends on your holding power.
Yep.
Right. So if you're planning to sell in 4 to 5 years time, right, you have to buy something that's different. Right? Because if you do not stand out, it's hard to sell back in the resale market. So first, like what Titus I mentioned, you need a unique selling point.
Yes.
Like maybe you're facing, river facing, or high floor facing. If you do not have this, you have to buy the cheaper alternative with good layout.
So your unique selling point will be price lah.
Correct. Right. So we also have mentioned in another video, sometimes buying low floor is still
Yes.
okay because you can still earn more than the higher floor units. So it all depends on your entry price point.
Otherwise, if you are looking for more of own stay, right, for your 2, 3 or 4 bedder, you just have to be mindful that the price you buy, you have to make sure that there's certain gap between you and your neighbors lah. Because if you have diamond hands, right, you let those who want to flip, right, in the resale market clear 2 to 3 years before you. You stay 2 to 3 years, then subsequently once the supply in the resale market becomes lower, then you enter the resale market and try to list your unit, right? So you don't try to fight with all the newly TOP subsale unit lah.
Correct. So at the end of the day, it's all about supply and demand. When the supply is low and the demand is high, that's where it plays to your own advantage as a seller. So if you are still confused on whether you should consider River Modern, so just scan our QR code and contact us, then we will sit down and do a consultation with you guys.
So moving on to River Modern pricing, right? Right now we know the starting pricing, but for the rest of the prices, we will only know on booking day. So what are your thoughts now? Developer Guacolan has said that starting from 2877 PSF.
So I think when we see 2877, most likely the average will be about 3K to 3.1 PSF, which I think is nothing cheap or attractive in this area. It's so-so lah. Because why? When we look at the other projects, basically your Promenade Peak, Zion Grand and River Green, our neighbours, and their average PSF,
also
Promenade Peak,
around there.
Yes, also about
3,000, 3,001
correct,
for River Green.
So with the current pricing for River Modern, honestly, really nothing to shout about. Worst case scenario is because of all the hype. We do anticipate maybe many buyers might end up overpaying when it comes to booking day.
It's because if they start at 2877 for the lowest floor, right? Because they have 36 floor, ma.
Correct.
Right. So imagine every floor you increase by 0.5%, which is maybe like $20-30.
Yep.
So 36 floor, 2.9 kPSF, you plus another $700. That's actually the top floor is around 3,006.
Yes.
Average
possible.
Maybe 3,001, 3,002 lah.
So that's where the danger lies. When it goes to the higher floor, you might be paying for a super high premium. Then the challenge comes when you want to sell in 4 to 5 year time, you cannot sell because buyers cannot accept the new high you are trying to test.
Yes. With some numbers, if you buy the low floor at 2009 PSF, right, let's say it's 1,000 square feet, you buy it at 2.9 million.
Yep.
Right. The highest floor you buy it at 3,006 PSF, which is 3.6 million. There's a 700,000 gap already.
Correct.
Yes, granted you get the better view, right? But is the view worth 700,000 to your potential resale buyer?
Correct.
Right, so that is a question that we must always ask ourselves lah. So let us go a little bit more in depth and compare the PSF and the pricing, right, in terms of the specific unit type against the nearby recent launches like River Green, Promenade Peak, and Zion Grand. So
first is the 2-bed 1-bath. The pricing transacted among the neighbours are as follows, right? Zion Grand transacted between 1.477 to 1.729. Then River Green, something similar as well, 1.455 to 1.83. Then for River Modern, if we were to take between 2877 PSF to 3.3 PSF, the pricing will boil down to 1.5 to about 1.775.
Yep.
Right. So in terms of pricing, 2-bed 1-bath, like I said before, nothing to shout about. You are in the same pricing range as your neighbours basically.
Yeah, so actually if you base on the starting price of 1.548, right, it's actually a little bit higher than Zion Grand and River Green for the lower floor units. So of course just now we've mentioned if the PSF of the 36th floor, right, go up to 3,003, 3,004 or even higher, right, that's where you got to think twice before you act lah.
Correct.
Right? Because unless you really just want to buy the unit to stay lah, then of course no problem. Right? But if flipping, really this entry would really be a little bit challenged in the future. So for next, we have the 2-bed 2-bath pricing comparison. Right? So take a look at River Green, about 1.6 to 2.1 million. For Zion Grand, it's about 1.75 million to 2.1 million as well. Promenade Peak also around 1.7 plus million to 2.1 million. If we use River Modern around 2,900 PSF to 3,003, that would translate to starting from around 187 million to 2.2 million. The gradual shift is around 100,000. The range is 100,000 from the lowest tier to the highest tier based on this estimate. Pricing wise is slightly very similar, right, to the surrounding development. So for layout wise, for the 2-bed 2-bath, we have the 678 square feet and the 689 square feet. We feel that is the better layout, which later part of the video, we will be going through more details in terms of these two layouts.
So now we quickly move on to the 3-bedder compact. So for Zion Grand, the pricing range that has been transacted is about 2.2 to 3 million. Then River Green, so something similar, 2.188 to 3 million. Then we move on to River Modern. If we take the PSF from 2883 to 33 PSF, the pricing will be about 2.298 to about 2.298. So yet again, the starting price is slightly higher than your competitor, but the high-end price is slightly lower, below 3 million as of now lah.
So it seems quite clear that Guaco Land for River Modern, they are not going down the pricing like cheap, then you come. They are not really very scared, nobody will buy.
Correct.
Right? So they are actually adjusting the price based on last year, the launches, and then they just increase a bit lah, right? Not a lot. Unlike probably like you talk about previously in Nara, right? I think the developer were a bit more cautious. So their starting price, they really go very, very low.
Correct.
The Sand started from 2001 PSF. Nara just went 1009.
Way below.
So to make more people come lah, but also with that, I think right now it's 30% sold.
Correct. So I think for River Modern, Guaco Land is quite bullish. I think they have the confidence. They have seen the price that's accepted in the market. So that's why in terms of pricing, they decided to price a bit more than what's transacted in the previous project.
Big developer lah, they probably not scared lah.
Yeah. Right. So last we have the 3-bedroom premium. So for this video, we are going to skip the 4-bedder so that we keep this video short and concise. So if you are keen to know about the 4-bedder pricing, whether it's worth considering, do scan our QR code, then we'll let you guys know. But we also feel for 4-bedder, people who buy here, they don't look at the price so much lah.
Yes.
Because down here, the 4-bedder is really quite luxurious. Because what's the size Titus here for the 4-bedder?
The 4-bedder is from 1004 and then the bigger one is 1008. 1008, if you just use 3000 PSF, right, that's almost 5.5 million.
Correct.
So someone who buys 5.5 million, are they really so sensitive to pricing? Not so lah.
No lah.
They are really going for the lux feel, the lifestyle, the address, the feel good factor lah.
Correct. So this demographic of buyers, their priorities are a bit different. So in terms of price sensitivity, maybe not so much for them lah.
Yep.
Right. So we go back to the 3-bedder premium. Right. So Promenade Peak transacted between 3.6 to 4 million. Then Zion Grand transacted between 2.9 to 3.6 million. So for River Modern, the 3-bedroom premium, the PSF range may be up to 3,004. Using that, the price will be from 3.3 to about 3.77. Right. So in summary, for River Modern, pricing wise for 2 and 3-bedder, we can see that it's all within the same range of the neighbors, the previous project that launched in 2025.
So like we mentioned, right, because River Valley, the truth is there will be an oversupply, 2,000 over units over 2029 to 2030, new units plus the existing old ones. You want to stand out in the resale market, you have to have something that will attract buyers.
Correct.
It's either your layout is super rare, your view is super good.
Yes.
If not, your price has to be something that really will attract potential resale buyers to come and take a look.
Correct.
Right.
So if you do not have any of these three, you are in trouble. Because when
Yep.
it comes to the resale market, most likely you'll get stuck.
So the next part of our video, we really want to talk in detail about the layout and what's our view of certain layouts.
So for 2-bed 1-bath layout, there's nothing much to talk about. So you have your open kitchen, which is your galley kitchen, which is fine for smaller bedrooms.
Yep.
But the downside here is that the master and the common are 9 square meter.
Yep.
So basically the same size. And the other issue, if we want to nitpick, is the balcony. It's smaller than the living. So if you can see from our picture here, it's not aligned to the living room basically.
It doesn't stretch across the whole living room.
Correct. So now we move on to the 2-bed 2-bath.
So moving on to 2-bed 2-bath, we have 3 different sizes, 646, 678 and 689 square feet. Firstly, 646 is an open concept kitchen, and once again you see a very long corridor. The same thing with the living and the balcony is not flush. But one thing that I noticed about this, right, Haikal, you see the bedroom 2 and the master.
Yep.
The bedroom 2 has this very long walkway, and the size of bedroom 2 is 11 square meter.
Yes.
The master bedroom is 10 square meter.
Yes.
Right, so actually stay in bedroom 2
Better.
better lah. Feels a bit more like the master.
Correct. Then we move on to the other 2-bed 2-bath at 678 and 689 square feet. To be honest, nothing much to complain. Honestly, both kitchens are enclosable.
Yes.
They're tucked away to one corner. Good dining area space, and the balcony finally is aligned with the living room. So the only difference between the 678 and 689 is the countertop space in your kitchen. So for the 689, you just get a bit more countertop space lah.
Yes.
That's it.
So of course, based on this three layout, our advice is to go for the 678 and 689. Minimum difference, right, between the two, quite acceptable layout. And avoid 646 at all costs if possible lah. Because this will be quite a challenge if your competitors are the one with a little bit more kitchen space rather than your galley kitchen.
Correct. So now we move on to the 3-bedder compact, right? So first up is the 797 square feet, open kitchen with no windows.
Yep.
But at least for this one, the master toilet does have the window, right? So we do want to point out bedroom 3 is slightly smaller at 8 square meter, but still can fit a queen size bed, just that you might feel a bit tighter.
Yep. So this layout is really like compact lah. It's really for people who want a 3-bedder but then budget constraint, yet still want the River Valley address.
Correct. So this is like an entry-level 3-bedder that River Modern is providing to such buyers.
But I do think that River Green and Zion Grand, right, definitely in terms of their smaller 3-bedder layout is better than this River Modern.
Yes, correct. So now we follow up by the 829 square feet, slightly better. Now they have a tuck-away kitchen, but still no window in the kitchen. And also this time around, both toilets do not have windows.
This window in the kitchen thing, right, and the toilet thing that everybody keep talking about, right?
Yes.
I hear clients talking about, agents talking about. What's your view, Haikal, right? Is it really so important that, wow, do I have to pay like 50,000 more just for the windows? Not that 50,000 more you buy a window, but it's the layout that has the window lah.
I think this is a valid concern, right? But from what I see, I think slowly we are transitioning to adaptation to life without windows. Why do I say so? Because even for BTOs, right? BTOs all got windows.
Yes.
But there are group buys who let you buy the ventilation fan and put it in. So now we are slowly moving towards that era now.
Got new technology to help the evaporation, humidity in the house lah.
Correct. So I think slowly people will adapt to this. Of course, with the old layout, most of them have windows. But like what you said, with better technology, I think now the ventilation is not as bad as what we used to have previously lah, maybe.
But my view is, if there's windows, you can sell to people who are okay with no windows and people who really want windows. But if you don't have windows,
Saktam.
people who really want windows, they won't come lah.
Yes,
Right?
correct.
So it's about having a bigger group of buyers. Then of course, the bigger the group, the more chance you have lah.
Yes.
So next we have the 893 square feet, very similar to the show flat unit that we saw at Faber Residence last year lah.
Correct.
So this comes with a flex room. Most likely you can enclose it up as a storeroom or even a rest area for your helper.
Yes.
Right? And the kitchen is enclosable if you want, but yet again, there's no windows. Right? Both toilets also have no windows, right? As you can see, the room is of the size of 9 square meters for the common room and then 12 square meters for the master bedroom.
Then last for the 3-bedder compact, we have 904 square feet, something we don't really fancy. Why? Because firstly, the layout looks a bit like an EC and a gun. Right? So we say the good thing first. The good thing here is the kitchen got window.
It's like a balcony lah.
Yes.
Yes.
And then it ends there for this layout.
Yeah.
Now we talk about the bad things about this layout. So if you notice, this is 904 square feet. It is the biggest 3-bedroom compact, but they do not have a flex room.
Just now the one with flex was 893.
Correct.
Smaller but got flex.
Yes. This is bigger, but no flex. But
So you got more space, but then the space is not used efficiently.
yes. So where the space has went to is basically the balcony. Now it stretches from the living to the kitchen.
Can partition half of the balcony to be laundry area, then half the balcony to be balcony.
Yes, that is your yard basically. Yet again, toilet, no windows, and the rooms here are 9, 9 and 10 square meter.
Yeah, 10 for the master as compared to 12 just now.
Yes.
Significant difference lah.
So it is the smallest master among the 3-bedroom compact. So among the compact 3-bedroom, right, these 4 layouts, we feel like 893 square feet are the best. And also for the 893 is the only one that will have river facing. But with this river facing, also do be prepared to pay a bit more as compared to your neighbors lah.
For sure lah, developer knows that river facing, they will charge a premium in terms of the facing lah.
Correct. Then if you guys are still considering, maybe can buy the 797 because in terms of premium, most likely will be the cheapest. Then followed by the 904 square feet.
So next we have is the 3-bed premium. And honestly, I feel that this is one of the best layout in terms of 3-bed premium in the River Valley area, right? It's comparable to Zion Grand's layout.
Correct.
Right? So two very similar layout, 1098, 1109. Minimum difference in terms of the size. The main difference is actually the size of the storeroom lah. You can see at the entrance there, right? That is the size of the storeroom. One is slightly bigger, one is slightly smaller. So other than that, both gives you a very, very nice 5.5 meter living and dining area, right? And then they have this flex in the middle of the kitchen. Of course, you can see that this flex, you can choose to take it down.
Yes.
If you take it down, right, it will be very nice because you can do up a glass sliding door, right, to close up the kitchen.
Correct.
But then if let's say you are hosting, right, you can do an open up and then you have the entire living, dining, kitchen, right, as your hosting area. So this one, very, very nice. You put an island in the middle. Wow, your friends can come and then stand over there, cocktail, drink wine, chit chat. So this one reminds me of Pine Tree Hill layout also.
Yes, correct. So when we visited the show flat, we honestly thought this was a 4-bedder, but it is a 3-bedder premium.
Yes.
So it is really a great layout and quite rare to see a 3-bedder premium having this kind of 5.5 meter living and such a nice kitchen.
Yep. So of course, being a premium, right, there has to be windows in your kitchen, windows in your bathroom, and then bedroom sizes is 9 square meters, and then master is 13, which is very, very comfortable for a master. And lastly also, this both stack faces the Singapore River.
So to sum it up, right, among all the different unit types in River Modern, we feel like the 3-bedder premium is the best layout possible. And also for the 3-bedder premium, right, both will have the unique view of the river facing as compared to other developments, right, River Green, Zion Grand, which will not enjoy the same river view like you.
Before we end off this video, right, just one very important message. Because of the way that River Modern is being built, it's 36 stories. So there will be per floor jump. And then there's a good facing, which is river facing, and not so good facing, which is non-river facing. Right? So all these things eventually on launch day, it will actually be factored into your entry price.
Correct.
Right? So it is so important, right, that you are very clear about what is the price that you can enter and what is the price that you really don't want to be emotional and just walk away. It's exactly this kind of development that the price between the low floor and the high floor will have a very, very huge difference.
Correct.
Then on top of that, the price between the good facing and the bad facing will have very, very big difference. So it's like double whammy if you really buy the highest floor and then the best facing, and then you realize someone else is buying like 700, 800,000 cheaper than you.
Jalan.
After you transact, then you cannot back out
Correct.
Right? So these are potential situations for this kind of new launches. Definitely a 3-bedroom difference could be as high as 600,000 to 700,000 difference.
Correct. So for our clients, Titus, when we go for booking day, the day before our booking day, we will always do a sit-down session and we'll show them the range of PSF and the price possibility. So that is where we will also inform them what is the walkaway price.
Yeah, so there will be a hard cut Everything above this is all black. Don't need to look at it already.
Correct.
So I did even experience before, right? Before we go down in the afternoon, those that we want is already bought. Then we don't even go down because no point I mean, go down already, waste time. Then you know that it's not going to be easy to accept it. So I would rather the client walk away. You can look at something else.
Correct. So if you guys are still confused, don't worry. Scan our QR code, then do get in touch with us. Then we will walk through you guys the whole step from the start till the end.
So once again, thanks for watching this episode of Haikal Titus Honest Truth HTHT. We see you in the next episode. Bye.
Wow.